Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Talking with Coach Money Martin today. Just seeing how everything's going with him and seeing how his programs are going. How you doing today, man?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, all right. So what's your day looking like today? How'd you manage? Or how have you been managing so far?
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's how we started today. We had the D line group this morning from 10 to 11. And like we've been on spring break, so we really been on a real focus week. Kind of touching bases on everything. And today we work power rush moves. So just a defensive focus every day with those D line guys, and then we'll move on later on through the day at 4 p.m. We'll meet with the linebackers. Just like I say, working with them, getting the skill set ready, getting them used to reading flow, reading their reads, working their keys, get offs, releases, just disengage all those different things. And then we usually end the day with, working on the website, working on everything that I got to get done as far as graphics, as far as promoting these kids and putting together the training videos, editing, doing what I got to do on that end. And then we just, wake up and repeat the day.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's good. How long have you been doing this? The training.
This is going on. This is probably going down. When I'm going into my second year now. I started last January, and it's just been,
Yeah.
I want to say, just been one of those uphill, journeys that I've been blessed to have so many opportunities to grow, as fast as I've been able to grow, and I'm just continue growing and trying to become, one of those top guys that's in the city working with the kids across DFW.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. From outside looking in, man, it's your body of work is looking good. What you put out and the things you do and the success that you've had is looking good, man. You might think it's an uphill battle, and I'm sure it is, but the results are showing, man. So, congrats, man. Just
Sure,
keep it up. Keep it up. I know you're a trainer, defensive line trainer, and can you kind of just go through kind of like what you do with your the guys that you work with?
Yes, sir. So with the guys that I work with, again, we work with youth to pros to professionals. So at the high school level and the youth level, just really maximizing the kids' understanding of the D line position in itself, the techniques, hand placement, where my steps go, where just really breaking down the art form of D line play,
Right.
and
Right.
then trying to give these kids media exposure as well to help benefit them and get as many college eyes on them as we can for to help them promote them to their dreams and where they want to be as far as players and athletes, while also mentoring, going on college trips with these kids and showing them that it is possible, to reach these goals, but it takes work. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
really involved in that, as well as being on the exposure side of things, and getting these kids a media outlet to kind of help, like I say, boost their own personal brands as far as giving them another media outlet to kind of expand who they are and what they're doing on the field and their accomplishments.
All right. Yeah. So that media thing is a very big deal. So what is the process of that? How can they? How do the guys that you work with get the media exposure that you talk about?
Media is really just being consistent. So just building who you want the coaches to see you as far as who you are as a player, individual. When somebody goes to your Instagram, your Twitter, they should know exactly who you are from what they see on your page. They should see what you stand for as a person, what type of player are you, how much do you care about this game? Because at the end of the day, we all talking about a different style and where we in now. We in NIL era, so
Mm-hmm.
brand matters. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
how can you be? Can I put your face on a poster? Can I put your face on the front of a magazine? So I have to know what type of person you are. So building that media structure kind of helps give these kids again highlight what they're doing on the outside that the coaches may not know that they're doing or may not see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with us being trainers and stuff like that, they get an inside look at the work that's actually being done before the season happens.
Right. And I know that when we talked earlier, you mentioned something that caught my attention, and that was player film breakdown. And kind of just give us a brief rundown of how you go through that with the players as well.
Yes, sir. So with player film breakdown, that can be a couple of instances. So that can be a highlight film of your own film where we break down kind of the plays that you have and how we can make them better and just talking through those things. And then also breaking down, like I say, for the youth guys or the high school guys, breaking down run game. So we might get on the film and let's work inside zone. Let's understand what power looks like. What does the blocking scheme look like from an O line when I'm getting these things? So that way, pre snap, I can help myself and be a better player, play faster, and get to making plays. Because ultimately, that's what this game is about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's about the guy that's making the plays, the guys that's getting things done. So if I can help them through film, understand what's happening on the field, then it helps them be high performers
Right.
when it's time to make those plays.
Yeah. Okay, so how long you were playing? Or we went through some of your playing time, and we'll go back and talk about that. But how was
It's
it?
a,
How comfortable was it for you? Did you have to change schemes or anything like that throughout your high school career, or your? I know you did in your college when you went from high school to college.
yeah, so I would say we had to change different schemes in high school. Like for like the first part of my high school career, we was a 4-2-5 front. Then my senior year, we actually ended up switching to a 3-4 front. So it was a difference for me because it was a
Yeah.
changeover from me being that inside 3 to 2 eye type of guy to now I'm playing more of a DN spot in that 3-4 front, more 4 eye, five five play on that tackle. So it was just a lot more just adjusting to playing in space and kind of being that edge setter or that read option key
Mm-hmm.
guy. You know what I'm saying? Just getting used to that instead of playing it from an inside perspective.
Yeah. Do you find that it's easier for kids to pick up on things like that as far as switching schemes and in the middle of a high school career? Was it just simple for you, or did it stumble you up for a little bit, or did you just kind of flow with it?
Just being honest, I'll be honest. Like it stumbled me up in the beginning of it because I had to
Mm-hmm.
understand. Like I had to understand for one my role in the defense because again, defense to defense, your role is different. How you play things may be different. Where you reading your keys at may be different. So for me, it was just slowing it down and understanding how to play on the edge and playing in space. Because, like I say, I played inside for so long that my first action getting that DN was literally my senior year. So it was just like
Mm-hmm.
getting used and comfortable to playing that five edge play. So once I kind of got it after like a couple weeks, I was just repping it, and then after I say about a couple weeks, then I was in rhythm to be and kind of understanding what my role was to be able to, make plays and do what I, get back to my comfortability level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have been talking about high school a lot with you, and like, so let's go back and tell us exactly where you came from. What it was like, your coaching experience was like in high school and all that. So let's just get a little foundation.
Yes, sir. So, like I said, I'm from the Dallas area. I went to Lancaster High School. Chris Gilbert was my head coach. He was transitioning in. We was his first freshman class.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a real difference kind of coming in and kind of getting into a change and the off season and what it took doing boot camp for the first time, really being in that discipline structure and just building that team camaraderie, and was able to, early in my career in high school, was able to go to state my sophomore year. Uh, didn't win, unfortunately, but was able to see state game
Mm-hmm.
and just see that process and just being able to go through that. But ultimately, the coaches that I had, defensive coordinator was Coach Adams. My D line coach
Yeah.
was also Coach Adams and Coach Kenny. And they just really was beneficial in not only building us as players, but building us as men. And I think that was the biggest and most important part was just building us as men and kind of
Right.
teaching us those off the field lessons just as much as we were learning those on the field lessons about who we were as players and kind of carrying that character outside of the field.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a pretty young guy, so it hasn't been very long since you did go to that state championship game. So can you relate that to some of these young men that are coming up right now that want to get to that ultimate in Texas or wherever state they are?
Yes, sir. So Texas football. So it's just one of those things. Like I tell people, like you got to ready to play out here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's guys and kids, just a real rough and it's a real sport out here. Like they the way we play is just a real aggressive style. Real competitive out here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially being in like the Lancaster area, having DeSoto, Cedar Hill, all these different schools around you. You know, everybody trying to be the best school in the city that year. So just it was definitely dope having a big crowds and having the sold out crowds and stuff, and just seeing the support and the camaraderie from the stadium to the fans,
Yeah.
just how everything went leading up to the game. So it definitely was fun, and I think it made me the best player competition wise, especially moving on to the next level in college football.
Yeah. Okay. So mentioning that, where did you play your college ball?
Out of high school, I signed to Oklahoma Panhandle State University out of high school, and then I was there for my first year of college, and then I transferred to Tarleton State University, where I finished out my career
Oh,
in
okay.
2019.
Okay. All right. What was Tarleton like at that time, 2019? What was that like for you? How's that
Yes, sir.
experience?
So Tarleton at that time was definitely, it was a Division II program at the time. We was in the Lone Star Conference. Head coach Todd Whitten, I feel like Tarleton was something that I needed because it was the first, I would say, opportunity for me to challenge myself as an athlete, and like college really shows you, is this really what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Different level,
the
right?
strength program, how we prepared, all those different things, like was like mentally you had to be locked in and say, this is what I want to do, because those workouts were built to break you down, turn you down, and build you back up mentally and as a player to really sustain. So when we got to the season, these things were easy to kind of do when it was time to compete.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what was the team like when you were there for those 3 years?
Oh man, the team, I think it built. We grew over the years. We were kind of in a rebuild stage, and I think we got a lot of guys that came in, especially just semester to semester. You got all those fresh guys coming in, so I think we got a piece of talent every semester to kind of help gel us, and we were able to kind of turn around and start taking a leap where we started. In 2018, we went 10-0 in the conference, and then
All
we went
right.
3 rounds deep in the playoffs, and then the next season after that went 10-0 again in the conference, and unfortunately we lost in the first round. Um, but it was just seeing that turnaround and everything that we had to put into being a winning team, and everything that Coach Whitten, instilled in us, and how hard that we prepared at practice. Like our practice was literally harder than the game sometimes, like most of the time.
Yeah.
So once we got to the game, it was just time to play and have fun as brothers, because we competed against each other so hard, and competing and trying to be the best guy at practice. We talking noise, getting on this guy, just going back and forth. And I think that helped build us into the legacy that Charleston's been able to continue to build up until this point now.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm hearing from you is that high school and college you've had a lot of success, correct? So is that easy to translate to a kid that may not have the advantage that you had going to a bigger school? That team is not as great player, but the team is just not as great. It's a little bit hard to keep the team up when it's like that. So what would you impart to some of your athletes to keep that motivation going for them?
I think honestly, it's just understanding you gotta run your own race. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was blessed to be at a school and schools that had winning cultures, that had competitive coaches, and we were able to kind of accomplish some things. But sometimes people got to understand that everybody's path and everybody's race is different. But
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing is doing your job, and scouts will come find you. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably cliche to say, and it's just being honest. Like sometimes, if I come from a school that probably isn't winning a lot of games, am I going to have to do more than the guy that's winning 10 games every year?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. I'm not here to sugarcoat that for anybody. Yes, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do a little bit more than the normal to kind of get somebody to kind of see you. But I think that goes with how bad do you really want to play this game? How
Mm-hmm.
bad do you embrace the competition of this game? Because I feel like you shouldn't shy away from it. We can't control certain things and certain factors, but what I can control is the type of effort and energy I put on tape and film.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Do you work with any college scouts, or have you gotten any connections like that, or do you just kind of train the guys and then they kind of find their own? How does that work?
Yeah, so I really focused on the training side, and I was able to partner up with Draft Prep Academy.
All right,
And
yeah.
Draft Prep Academy does a great job. They're
Mm-hmm.
well connected in the college scouting zone, and kind of helping kids like get to that next level where they're in the portal, whether it's high school kids. So it's just been really dope for me to be able to get my guys a part of that as well, to kind of help, bridge that gap for them to get those connections and build those connections with the scouts, and they're able to see the media through the media. They're able to see them and see what they're doing in their workouts and all those different things.
Right. And in dealing with the scouts, have you noticed any major or minor trend that kind of influences their decision to pursue a particular athlete, or is it just straight athleticism?
And I think it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like, you're making a formula of like the perfect kind of a little bit of everything in the athlete. So yes, it's the skill. Yes, it's the athleticism. It's the potential. But a lot of kids don't understand is, again, the social media side. What type of kid is this? Like, what type of person are you in the community? Because at the end of the day, like I say, these coaches want to know that if I'm going to invest in you, I'm going to, invest in your family, that when we get you, this is what is happening, that you're a good person, that you can add value to this team, add value to this program. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that's the major things that I've seen from these scouts is like understanding kind of who the kid is sometimes, and seeing what type of kid are they off the field just as much as they are on the field.
Yeah. All right. How can everyone get in touch with you and, find out about your program? Oh, what is the camp that's coming up for you this summer?
Yes, sir. So we had the D-Town Pass Rush Retreat. This is our second year. We was able to get through our first one last year. Real dope event. It's just an event to really talk about and teach the art of D-line, and also giving kids another chance to, again, compete and get exposure for them to send the scouts, and scouts to see them right before the season. So it's a real dope event. We bring different coaches from around the DFW, trainers, coaches, some of the best guys in the state, that I really cherish and that I've been able to meet along the way. And just teaching these kids about run game from the D-line standpoint, getting on the board, getting on film, letting them see it on the film standpoint, so that way they getting the mental reps just as much as us getting on the field, and then having those one-on-one reps with the O-line, D-line. I'm able to connect with Coach Zach, and we come together, man. He does a great job with those O-line guys in the state, in the city, and everything like that. So we come together, get those one-on-one opportunities. Just a real dope event.
All right. And how can they find out about it, and how can registration?
It'll be on the money. You can go to moneytimesports.com. You can register for the event right now, and then we do have a 25% discount going on for that event up until April 30th, and then we still accepting registration all the way up until about, I want to say, 2 weeks before the event. Again, that event will be July 2nd and 3rd.
Okay. All right. So we're running a little short on time. Can you give your social media accounts and everything, and everybody can touch on
that? You can reach me at Coach Money _Coach Money on Instagram, and also you can reach me at Money Time Sports on Instagram, and MT Sports _ 2 underscores on X or Twitter, and Facebook, Money Time Sports.
All right. Well, I thank you for your time, man. Appreciate you stepping in with me, and you take it easy. We'll holler at you later then.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
All right. See you.